Yeah, yeah, yeah. What?
Yo, what's up, guys? This is Andrew Sierra with Film's Most Wanted Video Podcast. Got a special guest in the building for us tonight, Mr. Roosevelt Merisier. Welcome to the show.
Yo. Appreciate you having me, man. F&O in the building.
F&O, man. Shouts out the gang. Hey, how you feeling today, man? What you been up to?
Man, I feel good. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping busy, man. Every day on the grind, 24/7, man. It don't stop.
The grind doesn't stop. I see you heavy on the IG flexing, man. I'm proud of you. You've come a long way.
Definitely,
so
man.
It's kind of funny, man. Like, I want you to tell the people, like, how we met, man. You know, let the people know how we linked up.
Nah, we met, man, actually through one of my boys, man, Tim the Tool Man, man. He actually, you reached out to him to do a project, and he feel like he didn't fit the role for that project, so he hit me up. He thought of me, and he hit me up, and, you know, that's how we met. And like I said, man, like, when I met you the first day, like, your aura, everything about you was real serious, and you was very passionate about what you do, man, and, you know, it was all love from there, and you see what we doing here now, you know what I mean?
That's facts, man. It was definitely a fun project linking up with you. I think one of the things that first caught my attention about you was the fact that you were just willing to absorb and learn, and, like, you were down for the ideas that I had, and you were, like, willing to push the limit. Mm-hmm. And we didn't even know each other. You know, we got together and we were like, I'm filming you do this super, like, emotional, passionate role. Yeah. And we're just two dudes trying to make it out here, and we're like just creating in that moment, and it was dope, man. So I definitely appreciate that link up from Tim Taylor. Shouts out him. So tell us, man, you got any projects up and coming? Anything already in the works that's been out there? I know you've been hitting up a few festivals. So talk to us about that.
Nah, man, I'm just working on Magic City Murders, man. That's actually, like, we got the final edit done, and we about to drop that real soon. About to flood it in a lot of film festivals. It's about to be real crazy. Also got the documentary with Wesley, the number one player in South Florida. You know what I'm saying? That's about to drop.
That's what,
soon.
Basketball, right?
Yeah, basketball documentary. That's about to drop real soon, and I'm very excited for that one. And you guys already know The Baby, Take It to the Max. You know what I mean? That's another project that's definitely gonna be seen worldwide. You're gonna hit barriers and everything like that. So I'm very excited about that project. And, you know, it's just a lot going on right now, man. Just being an entrepreneur, your mind is everywhere. The grind is all over the place, but, you know, you gotta find that balance.
Yeah, balance is important, man. I mean, for you, what has been the, like, most important, like, aspect in your creative process that has like allowed you to stay balanced with your, like, life, you know, finances, your willingness to create, what kind of projects you're jumping on? I mean, talk to us a little bit about that.
I mean, just consistency, man. Just, you got to be consistent with everything that you do. Like, if there's something that you're passionate about, you just got to be extremely consistent about everything that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And when you're consistent, everything else is going to fall into place. You know what I mean? Finances, relationships, you know what I mean? Friendships, everything, you know what I mean? Just, you got to stay focused.
Yeah, that's I can definitely agree with that, man. You know, I used to think, like, filmmaking was just, if you're good, like, you're dope, you have all this quality, like, you can get away with a lot of things. And I think that came from my background of being a natural basketball player. Like, my aesthetic and the way my body would move and how I could jump and shoot the ball naturally with, like, minimum practice was, like, such at a high level that I felt like at first when I came into the film game, I was like, all right, you know, I kind of misjudged it, and I was like, I'm just gonna purely use my talent, like, and not, you know, go after this a little harder or, like, look more into it. But then I just got more and more curious, and, like, I became an extremely studious person in relation to what film exactly was, like the editing process, and then obviously furthermore into my career, like getting into, okay, you know, this is how you light certain scenes, and this is different type of tools that you can use from a grip truck to make this look nicer. And, you know, oh, you want that light like way up there or over there in that corner? Oh, it's no, you know, I don't have grips telling me now that it's not realistic. I don't have anybody putting that in my mind that, like, what I want or to achieve in that moment is not, like, capable of being done. And like, you know, I'm a little spoiled right now, and I'm really proud of how far it's like full circle. And like now that I've been studying more and pushing the limits and like working with industry music video people, then always trying to keep that aura about me where like I do a lot of different things. You know, I'm not just a music video person, even though it's a cool industry to be in. I think right now, like I've always wanted to be extremely versatile, and I've always, you know, had that thing about myself where anytime you would see a demo reel or, you know, just a couple videos I may drop on my Instagram or Facebook, it was always like something different. It wasn't always just like this one style of visual.
Okay.
And consistency got me to that point where I was like, okay, any situation I get put in, I'm able to conquer. And I might be nervous, you know, sometimes I get thrown in the rink and I'm like, all right, well, this is
still make it happen, man.
Like, you know, this is serious. I'm really doing some crazy shit, man. You know?
I see it all the time.
And, yeah, you know, and it's just one of those moments that, like, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, okay, like, your number's been called. It's time to get to work. Have fun with it. Like, that's why we got into this, right? To have fun, you know, to collaborate, to create, make money. Like, so I was just, like, thinking to myself, like, I'm only nervous because I love this.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And I want it so bad I don't want to fuck it up.
Facts.
So then it's like getting into that actual next step of it is like, it's cool to be there, and it's cool to like see how far things have come now.
Actually, I experienced that with you. Remember that day, like when M-Dash came in town and everything like that, and I was like stressing, like, yo, what are we gonna do? And like, damn, I was like scared, bro. And you was just like, yo, you was calm. You know, you having that experience that you have in the game, in the industry. Like, you kept me calm, and you was just like, yo, it's gonna be cool, bro. Like, we got this. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the day went smooth.
Yeah. It ended up going really smooth.
Definitely.
And the artist, you know, that's another dope artist. Shout out to M-Dash. He came into town from out of state.
Straight out of Alabama, man.
Yeah, and we did a dope video produced and directed by my guy right here. So, yo, man. So I got a couple questions I want to just ask, in general, and let's let me know some thoughts. Shouts out to my wife on the camera.
Word.
All right, so now that you're in the film business, right?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Was there like, all right, what was that particular moment rather, like, where you recognized that filmmaking was something that you were gonna like do full time?
Man, like, cause when I was working at my job, at the same time I was doing gigs outside of work and everything like that. And remember at a point in time, man, like I was coming to you like every week, every 2 weeks, like I got something. I was just shooting a lot, and it was just like very, very convenient for me. The money was great, you know what I mean? And it drove me to quit my job, you know what I mean? And yeah, man.
So talk to us about that process. What went into, like, besides the fact of you obviously being busy and having, you know, gigs lined up that you're starting to do while you're working, what else is going on in the background, in your mind, emotionally? What kind of things are you thinking about, and what helped you get over the ledge? Because I know you so it's like I know that at this time this wasn't something that you just thought of overnight. It's something that you kind of built up to, and you realize that, you know, I know you used to tell me, like, when you were on lunch breaks, you would be like on your phone making business calls while you're at your job, trying to line up gigs so that you can kind of commit to this lifestyle. But it was something that built up. So talk to me and talk to the people about, like, there's people out there asking every day, how can I make this a full-time job? What do I gotta do to commit my life to basically, you know, filmmaking or producing full time? Man,
you can first of all, man, you gotta create, man. You gotta find your lane and, you know, make things happen. And also with me, like, I did a lot of networking, man, and like going out to events, going out to like film festivals. Even though like I didn't have a film out or anything like that, I was still going out and just meeting the right people, and just always working, always finding new ways to just make things happen. You know what I mean? And like, you know, in this journey, man, it's like it's extremely like hard. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, you still have to find a way. You still gotta You know, like I say, you gotta be networking. You gotta be, just finding new ways to build.
So Vel, I want you to talk to the people about what went into
Yeah.
you committing to a full-time job, and basically elaborate on what was that eureka moment for you where you were like, yeah, I'm doing this forever. Like,
Yeah.
I want to leave my current situation and completely commit to being a creative filmmaker and producer.
I just fell in love with it, man. I fell in love with, I started off acting. Acting is what I wanted to do at first. And then, I just fell in love with, I wrote my first film, which is called Distant Lives. This is the film that really took me to another level of filmmaking in my lifetime. And after that, I just fell in love with just being behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And I just loved the whole idea of creating videos and everything like that, and just looking at it and just watching. I remember after dropping my first film, A Distant Lies, man, I would watch it over and over and over and over again, and just be like, wow, like I created this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just fell in love with it, man. And
It's an amazing feeling.
yeah, but before that, man, I was a complacent guy. You know what I mean? I had this job, I was making really good money and everything like that, and I just, when I found video and I found being behind the scenes and I found acting, everything just changed. You know what I mean? And it just told me, like, yo, I got to get out of here. You know what I mean? I got to get out of here and pursue my passion and my dream full time. You know what I mean?
And that's a big reason why I really fuck with you, man. You know, like, I saw a lot of myself in you when we met, and I like being around obviously like-minded people that are passionate, and that's kind of how I live my life, man. Sometimes I'm very, fast to do things, or I'm dramatic with my switch-ups of how I feel in life, but that's just because I live passionately.
Likewise, bro.
And
Likewise.
when you have that, that God-given unique passion, that's sometimes a lot of people are like still searching for, and it's okay. Like, I want to like literally elaborate on that, because I feel like a lot of young guys hit me up and they're like, yo, man, I think I want to do this, or like, I don't know what my life is going to be. I don't know what's next for me. Like, I'm just doing photography and video because it pays some bills right now, but really, like, I don't really fuck with it like that. So it's like, you don't have to do something creative necessarily to be passionate, everybody has their moment, their defining moment in life, and I just think that as long as you're patient and always trying and always committing to something and giving it an honest effort, I really feel like positive things can only come from it, and like lead you guys to the next step, and open those doors for you guys. So always keep that in mind. But going back to what you were saying about leaving the job, I also want you to elaborate on the aspect of mentally what's going on. Like, what are you thinking about leading up to the time where you're like, okay, I'm going to quit my job and commit to being a freelancer, and it's like do or die, because you have bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have your own spot, you got your own whip.
Yeah.
And I know that you have other commitments that you have to take care of.
Right.
So elaborate on that. Like, what's going on in your mind, and how did you conquer that, all those feelings?
Yeah, but the first thing, like, that made me quit my job, it's just like, I'm real good at saving money, you know what I mean? So, I had some money saved before I made that decision and everything like that. And I just knew that, everything was just going to fall in place. Like, mindset is everything. If you think that, everything's going to be okay when you quit this job, then everything's going to be okay. But if you think like, I don't know, I'm not sure, and you just doubting yourself, everything's gonna go down the drain. You know what I'm saying? So mindset is key. Mindset is everything to what you want out of life. You think positive things will come. If you think negative things will come. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought positive all the way from when I quit my job that day. That was like, I felt like I took like 100-pound boulder off my shoulders. You know what I'm saying? I felt great.
Wow.
Like, it made me feel really, really good. And I mean, I called a meeting. That day, I went in a suit, in a tie, you know what I'm saying? And I went to the office manager's office, and I told her, I called a meeting. We went to the conference room, and, I told them, I was like, thank you for everything you guys have shown me at this job. Like, I really and truly appreciate everything you guys have done for me.
Right.
But, I'm choosing to chase my dreams. I found something that I loved, and I'm gonna take it to the next level with what I want to do out of life.
That's
And,
deep, bro.
that was that. You know what I mean?
That's some powerful shit you saying, man. I mean, I'm really proud of you, bro. A lot of people don't have that ability to have so much confidence to commit to themselves like that. But I'm glad you did, and I'm glad it's working out. And shouts out to your event. If you guys ever need to go to a dope event, anybody watching this outside of this, check out F&O events. And what's the IG for that?
F&O Event Culture. You can find F&O Productions LLC. Failures No Option _. And one more thing about just my testimony and everything that I do, man. It's like my mother plays a big role in my life, and I remember that conversation. I'm not from here. I'm from the Bahamas. You know what I mean? Haitian, Bahamian. And I remember getting off that plane. My mom put her right hand on my shoulder, and she told me, you're going into a place where you don't know anybody. You know what I'm saying? And everyone here in the U.S., they're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to work harder than everyone else that's already here because you come from a whole different place.
Yeah.
And in that mind, I always had that mindset just growing up. You know what I'm saying? So it just, her saying that showed me that I have to work hard. I have to be consistent at everything that I do, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts. And even though I'm born American, I can relate to that because my family, they came here from Colombia. And I grew up with some very passionate people, that just really pushed you to your extremes and made sure that you were doing the right thing and committing to something and at least doing good in school at the minimum. So I definitely feel that you have to work harder because, our parents are immigrants, man, and they come from a different place, and they just understand it's a privilege to be here in the States. And, I'm definitely proud to be living here and, being able to work here and like sell my services and grow my face and my company. It's a blessing. So I want to talk about now that you've been already how long has it been since you quit your job?
Last year July.
It's
about to be a year.
It's about to be a year.
Yeah, so I'm having actually my next week's show is gonna be F&O Appreciation Month show.
Fire.
You know what I mean? I'm just gonna, at the end, I'm gonna talk about, the journey to get to this point and everything like that. You know what I mean? And, just to tell everybody that, you could do it too. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta have that mindset.
I love that. So now that you're about a year in, would you say it is harder to start or keep going? What was more difficult?
Honestly,
what was that particular thing that you had to conquer in either situation?
Man, it was harder to start, man, because I don't want to stop. I want to keep going. I love this shit, man. Yeah. I love it. I love that whole idea of just creating visuals for people to see. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. Mm-hmm. It feels great to just write something on a piece of paper sometimes, and you're watching it on the big screen and things like that, and it just it's inspiring. You know what I'm saying? And that you're inspiring others as well. And that's the main thing why I do everything that I do. I want people to be inspired. I want them to feel how we feel. You know what I mean? When you're passionate about, you get a phone call.
Preach, man.
I'm going to shoot Nas, or I'm going to shoot Jay-Z or Pitbull or whatever. You know how good that makes you feel? You know what I'm saying? Because this is what you love to do. You know what I'm saying? And you ready for action.
Yeah,
you know
that's a big game changer.
Yeah, so it's like, I would never, quit being a filmmaker ever. You know what I'm saying? But the start was the hardest. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to find ways to make it. I had to network. You know what I'm saying? I had to build relationships with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be fearless in this game. You know what I'm saying? You can't be too cool. You know what I'm saying? You can't be too cool. Like, you have to be able to be vocal, be friendly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To just talk to people as a whole and just be a genuine person. You know what I'm saying? And when you're a genuine person, that energy is gonna come back to you. You know what I mean?
Building community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I've built relationships with a lot of guys that I met through you. You know what I mean? And it's just always by just having great energy and keeping and I always tell people this: keep a good reputation out here. You know what I mean?
Man, you good reputation. Say that one more time for the people in the back.
Keep a good reputation out here in this industry, in this game, man. For real, man. Because blessings will come back to you. You'll be on your ass one day, and you get a phone call that'll, make sure that rent is paid that month. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So let's see here, man. You're a collaborator, right? How have you discovered like members of your team, and how do you keep like the relationship with them strong?
Yeah, just by I recognize them just by like just you bring a lot of them around me. You know what I mean? Like Rubini, Alex, and others that I met on my own just on this journey and everything like that. Like Sauce, Juice, Hugs. People like that. You know what I mean? And they're just hard workers and grinders, man. And, we all work together, man. I collaborate with each and every one of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like if I, close a project, or if I'm working on a project, if I feel like, if any one of these projects fits one of these shooters, and I'm going to work with each and every one of them. You know what I mean? Because they each have their own way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? And they're all unique. And I like everything about them. You know what I mean? And
yeah. So being from Miami, like, what about Miami and like living here? How does it influence what you make and how you're making it right now? Like as far as your creative process.
Just the culture, man. Like we live in a place where everybody want to be. You know what I mean? And it's dope, man. To create projects here down in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, whatever, Boca, and just like the scenery and the culture, man. The culture is a big thing for me. Just being able to create dope projects that align with what's going on in Florida. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I take from it.
So what makes a great film for you? Are there certain like qualities in a film that make it like better for you when you're watching it?
I like stories that's like, true to heart, man. Like motivational projects, man, and projects like I watch a lot of Tyler Perry projects because I write. My writing style is sort of the Tyler Perry and things like that. I just like things that hit home. You know what I mean?
That's
relatable things. I mean, I like the Spider-Man projects and stuff like that, but I'd rather watch a project that hit home. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Something
Elaborate on
real.
that. Like, what films have been most inspiring or influential to you? That like you can think of top of your head.
Boomerang, Eddie Murphy back in the day. I'm more old school film guy.
Go Bike.
You know what I mean? Boomerang, Harlem Nights, Friday, of course. Like when I seen Friday for the first time, like
Life-changing.
I was probably like 8, 9, and it was so dope, man. Like just the way it was written and everything like that. And I thought to myself, like I could do something like this. I could write something like this as a kid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just dope, man. That movie like changed my whole like life. You know what I mean?
That's
and
dope.
yeah, till this day of me being a filmmaker, I still go back and watch Friday and like learn a lot of things from it. When you come in this game as a filmmaker, like you don't watch movies the same. You know what I mean? Like you look at every little detail, like what's going on and how it's written and how it's shot. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
So you start to look for who's the cinematographer on this project, who edited it. You know what I mean? It just like when you get into this game, like you fall in love with it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I love it.
She's a dangerous one.
Dangerous.
It's kind of funny because, like, I grew up highly inspired and influenced by, like, black films, like, that culture and just, like, growing up a kid, I was just like everybody else. I just had, like, your regular cable, you know what I mean? So I would watch my, my VH1, my BET, PBS, your regular channels, but there was just something about BET films that just always made me feel at home and just made it feel like, I don't know, relatable in a sense, like
Baby Boy.
Baby Boy's a great film, and like even though like we're literally not in these situations, it's kind of like when Drake raps, like you might not have as much money as him or have gone through that girl that he's talking about in particular, but you can feel what he's saying because there's different aspects of your life that have connected with that, and it's just kind of the same. Like that was like a hub for me, and that was something that I know the way I create today and the way I shoot like my stylistic films, like shorts and even commercials sometimes, but just more like the short film and feature style films where we're telling a story. I can tell I'm definitely still inspired by those things, and other films obviously like The Matrix and Blade was dope. But for me, when I connected with you, it really like lit up the moment for me to know that your scripts and your style of writing were very similar to the films I had watched growing up on these channels, you know, and I thought that was really cool because it even though I don't write in particularly like that, like the films I write are very obsolete and strange, and sometimes there's like all these like miscellaneous things going on in the film, and you know, I have a couple scripts like lined up, but my thought process, you know, I think about costumes and I think about makeup and, you know, lighting techniques and all these weird things that are going to happen, and I kind of always want to push that boundary. So for me, like, I try to make more like they're realistic films, but they're still like supernatural in a sense. So when you came into the picture and you're like, yo, you know, I got this dope film idea about this kid. He's selling Jordans to make money because his mom is sick, and then something happens to him, and he's like one of the OGs. You know, I don't even remember what happens, but somebody gets killed.
Remorse, man. Like I'm dropping that this year too. I gotta work on it, man. There's just been a lot of things going on, man, with other projects. And you know, throwing events and everything like that. You know, just being an entrepreneur, man.
That's facts. But
going on.
When you came to me with that style, and then you had other scripts like Distant Lies, and just like, you know, even the things that we're creating now with our series, the werewolf vibes,
Magic City Murders.
You know, that all these are like fun, and you know, the werewolf one's a little it's a little different, and it's unique. It's like a Dexter vibe mixed in, but I also like, obviously, your original style of how you created films, and I think that's like what I've enjoyed about like linking up with you and working with you and like creating stuff. It makes me excited to know, like, okay, cool, like we're doing stylistic films that I definitely was inspired by, like something very similar, you know. So when you get angry at a movie, what might make you upset? Because you were talking about how you watch films differently now. You know, you're seeing the cinematography, you're thinking about lighting, you're thinking about, you know, the camera move, you're thinking about the makeup, the audio, sound effects. You're thinking of all these things while you're watching a film. So is there ever moments where you're watching a film and now that you have this type of, you know, extra filmmaker vision, are the things that make you upset and you're like, damn, like I really didn't like that, I just don't fuck with that look or that style? Or do you not look into it that deeply?
I definitely look into it that deep. Like, but for the most part, that gets me is like, you know, some things that I watch, like the acting really gets it for me sometimes. It's just like, damn, like if she could have did that a little bit better, if she could have said this a little bit better, or he could have did that a little bit better, you know what I'm saying, it would have been a different project, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much just like the acting for me sometimes.
Okay.
But for the most part, man, I feel like everybody that pretty much just makes it out here on the industry level of things that I've watched on TV and stuff like that, I feel like everything else is pretty solid. You know what I mean?
Right. So like, by the way, shouts out to IndieWire. I got a lot of these awesome questions from here. I don't know if any of you guys heard these questions before, but I think it's awesome to be able to ask these to our guests and you know, utilize them to kind of tap more into the industry and like what's going on in their thought process. So generally speaking, when people want to learn about film, like they always talk to the director, right? Or they're always like talking to the producer. They think that those are really the only people that they can connect with. But you've been on set with me multiple times. Yeah. You've been on set on your own with other people, other creatives. Yeah. And we all are more than aware that it's more a collaborative effort. You need your team to basically create to the maximum potential that you could, right? Fact. So, in your opinion, what makes a fruitful collaboration? Like, what do you do to enhance collaborative processes when you're linking up with people to make your films happen?
Just planning, man, planning ahead and everything like that. Even before every film process, man, we're meeting up, we're linking, we're going over scripts, we're talking, you know what I'm saying? Like we're connecting at once, you know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that we deliver the best project possible. Mm-hmm. And it's all about, man, like in this game, man, like you always want to plan and you always want to just make sure that you deliver the best project possible, and just make sure you're doing everything with love and doing everything with passion, you know what I mean? And not just doing everything for the money in this industry, because it's not all about that, you know what I'm saying? The money is cool, but first you got to have the passion and you got to have the love for it, so you got to put the work in, you know what I mean?
That's facts, man. That's definitely, for me, it's like you know, I try to primarily focus on directing, producing, and that was something I told myself, like, when I get into the industry, I'm gonna like become a huge director. That was always my passion, my dream. I didn't really consider all these other things I've done to basically get to where I'm at now. See, like, you know, like the people think that they're just gonna say, hey, I'm a director, and walk into the industry and like they're just gonna only direct, because that's unrealistic right now. I think in order to like, you know, enhance your game and kind of get to that next level, you don't have to be a master. You definitely have to be a master at one thing, but you can know a bunch of other shit too. That's okay. Like, don't let anybody tell you can only just master one thing.
Word.
And you know, I think that for me it was like a journey of, okay, I wanted to direct, but getting into the industry, there was directors already running Miami, you know? Like, there was already top dogs in the game that people were using for everything. So for me, it was like, okay, I can keep shooting a bunch of little projects, but what is my ultimate goal? You know, where do I want to go with this? Where do I want to end up with this? And obviously for me, it was like a bigger picture. I wanted to scale. I wanted to be known for, oh, he shot this artist and he's done this. And for me, that recognition was always awesome, because we are living in that time. It wasn't like, it's not like a prideful thing. It's more of a, fuck, I'm excited. Like, I'm living my fucking dreams right now. Why you hating? You know, and I just want to, you know, that was just something like I wanted to grow and be a part of. So it took long to get there. It took long to be somebody that was in charge completely of a big project, or be like a huge part of it, because I had to figure out other ways. I was like, all right, listen, so and so is directing. These are the 3 or 4 big directors out here. They're the ones that always get hired. Then these are the like guys that are right below them, and they're the ones that get all their other jobs, you know? So there's this like ladder that people don't see. But when you're in the mix and you're getting all these calls and people are randomly connecting with you, or they're calling you for items or whatever it is may be, you have to, I realized that you have to be flexible. You have to be like Play-Doh, man. You know, you have to be able to mold to anything that's needed in a situation. So I put myself under the circumstances where I was like, all right, look, I love this shit, but right now being only a director is not cutting it. You know what I mean? I was just like, obviously I'm getting older now. My life's happening. I had my kids. So I'm thinking to myself like, okay, I need to continue to scale and grow and figure out how I can creatively make money within my field, of course, because I was always driven to be like, okay, I'm gonna make it. Whenever I do make it, it's gonna be, I'm gonna be known for making it as my filmmaker status, you know, or producing, or just being a creative businessman, but within the film industry, in freelance industry. That was something like that I've told myself, like, that's what I want to do, and it's gonna happen. You know, I don't want to be known for a fucking meme. I don't want to be known for like a silly viral video. Like, all that's cool, and then people are making tons of money for it. I mean, I could sit home and try to make viral videos all day, but it's not in my DNA. Like, I want to be somebody that's of a higher caliber, quality, systematic,
for
and
something that you did with passion.
You know, man, and it's okay. Like, people can create memes with passion. Maybe that's just something that the newer generation is learning to pick up on. And I'm not that old by no means, but I feel like I'm still an OG, like in the sense of like how I want to create and design. So ultimately, man, like to like finalize, like what I'm trying to say is that I was in a situation where I had to adapt and grow in order to stay in this industry and continue to commit to my freelance life, make money, support myself, support my family, my bills, everything that I needed to do, right? So I started saying, okay, cool. I noticed so-and-so is a great director, but they don't have a personal drone guy. Okay, guess what? I know a drone guy. You know what I mean? I was always that guy, and I still am, that knows somebody. And if I don't know that person, then I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And that's just...
And that's deep network.
It's crazy, because like over time, like I started like realizing like there was a point that like it'd be months straight and I'm getting multiple calls every month for extremely huge projects, not only to be a part of them, but sometimes it would just be simply, you know, we need a camera for this shoot, or we need some type of like, you know, stabilizer or Ronin 2, or, you know, all types of different shit, lenses, a drone operator. And so when I started with the drone stuff, it was like, okay, cool. Like, I knew a really good pilot. Shouts out to Skylabs, Louis, you the man. And I was like, I'm gonna use this to my advantage. I told Lewis, like, listen, I can sell the shit out of your services. Like, I can do this. People need drone out here. You're very talented. So that's just what I did. I went, I started pitching to these directors, like, look, here's some work, showed them the reel, I could do this, and I taught myself how to fly with them, you know. I'm not a pilot, hell no, I'm not a pilot, but
but you flown before, though.
I've flown before with my own drones, and then flying with them, since it's an Inspire 1 or Inspire 2 or some of these, like, you know, Alta free fly systems.
Inspire 2 is something serious, man.
It's you know, you have to have 2 operators, and it's just like I got accustomed to just flying the camera and making all the movements for it. And, you know, so a lot of people don't know, but I'm like the camera operator on a lot of huge videos with the drone, you know what I mean? On big projects for Faruko, Pitbull, you know, Ace Hood, Prospect, like different guys that I was in the industry with. So it's like, and worked with, but sometimes I was just there as, hey, you're just the drone guy right now. You know, and I'd be there with the co-pilot, so that was one thing, right? And then I would continue on in my career using other ways. Cool, you need an editor? Guess what? I started as an editor back in 2011. I can do that for you. Showed them reels, so I started editing some industry projects, right? What's the next step? Okay, cool, the Ronin 2's out. Shit, I'm gonna learn how to use the Ronin 2. Yeah. I met a guy named Marcelo, awesome dude. He owns a bunch of gear. I'm like, another situation where I saw benefit, where I was like, hey, listen, how am I, remember, now we're thinking like creative business, you know, this is what we're talking about right now. We're thinking, how do we stay relevant in the game? How do we change things? And how do we keep leveling up, right? Mm-hmm. So these are the things that are going through my mind, because as much as I want to just be a film director, I gotta eat, I gotta live.
Sure.
You know, and I still want to have my passion projects, and obviously, shit, I want to have enough money that I'm just able to solely focus on passion projects and create series and my features off my own dime, you know, and not have to, you know, be like some of these new rapping artists that are going to United Masters, being their own label, being their own entities. Word. You know, I want to be that person in the film industry that's like, when my film drops in theater, it's like, oh, and it was fully funded by him. Mm-hmm. You know, that'd be an awesome goal to reach. And hey, of course, do I want to collaborate with a huge studio? Duh. Word. You know, Miramax, MGM, Warner Bros, Sony. I mean, of course, I would love to work with all these guys. But how beautiful would it be to be able to have that home run film that you put, whether it was $100, $10,000, $100,000, it was your hard-earned money, and it turned into something that tripled, quadrupled, or more in size for worth, you know what I mean? Right. And the world got to see on a bigger scale. So, you know, I just kept adapting myself, man, on the creative business. And whenever I saw opportunity to utilize what somebody else was kind of like they had, but I realized they didn't have a big market for it. Yeah. So I was like, dude, I know a lot of people right now. You have tons of gear. Let me sell it. You know, and I started pitching the hell out of the gear. Like, yo, we got this gear, we got that gear. I started DMing all the producers in Miami. I started calling people, and I was just like, yo, this is like, I'm gonna try my best to get your stuff out there, so that it was just one aspect of what I was doing, you know. But it was helping me not only earn money, but learn how to become a producer. Word. And slowly but surely, that's when all these calls start coming in, and they're like, yo, we need this, we need that, we know you got this, and we know you got good prices. And it was because of the relationships I was building with the people around me that had these resources when I didn't. There's been plenty of resources that I bring to the table, of course, but that's the name of the game. You don't survive in this film game alone. You know, I failed a couple times in my past because of being selfish in the film industry and only wanting to, you know, keep the money for myself. No, I can't involve so-and-so because I need the money, you know, and then you start thinking selfish, but you're not looking at the grand scheme of things. Like, you know, I started realizing, hey, I want my projects to look better. So if I get $1,000 budget, you know, in that moment, if I want to take an L and say, hey, I'm going to spend $500 and get a red cam, for me, it's not an L, it's an investment. To other people, they might see it and be like, yo, you know, you lost out on bread, but no, I actually gained more, because once I dropped those projects with better equipment in the sense of like quality wise, and with already the talent that I have and the eye that I have, it was a perfect mix of beautiful cinematography, quality, production that people just started really taking interest in, and that helped me get calls. I wasn't just some guy that was like, yo, I don't really shoot much, but I got a red, so cool, like my shots are nice. Nah, hell no.
There's people like that out there though, you know what I'm saying?
There's tons of people, and they're eating right now. Yeah. There's people that shouldn't even be, I mean, you know, I don't ever like to hate, and I'm not gonna say no names, but there's people in the industry that I think, like, it's crazy to me that they're in the positions that they're in, because sometimes they don't even know, like, set talk, or, you know, how to talk to an AC, or how to talk to the DP, or how to talk to their co-producer, or their, you know, their AD. And there's just people that they're just so connected that they say, hey, they're a director because they thought of, you know, doing the film thing, but they're not really like film heads though, you know what I mean? They're not people that you can really have a educational conversation with about, you know, certain things in the industry. And you know, that's a super real thing. So, you know, if you're one of those people, you know, you got connects, shit, I mean, do your thing. We ain't hating on it, but, you know, you and I can't have that real of a conversation because I'm gonna melt you.
Fact.
So overall, man, that's what I was getting at. That I just had to do a lot of other things to kind of get to a point where people started trusting me, and then they started saying, okay, cool, you know, you got all this gear available. Can I just hire you with the gear? Can you operate? Can you DP? So now I'm getting into a new realm of things where I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not just and mind you, I'm still directing on my side projects, but for bigger industry videos, this is how I broke in, you know, and this is how people started calling me. And then I'm like, okay, so-and-so called me to be a camera operator on the Ronin 2 for, you know, a Brian Meyer video or a Jake Eles video. And it's like, sometimes I wouldn't even know who's the artist, you know, I would just get the call and I show up and it's like, wow, okay, cool. That's, oh shit, it's a Pitbull. Oh, it's so-and-so, it's Tory Lanez. It's, you know, and it's just all these interesting things start happening. It's Ken Jones, you know, shouts out to Kent, AJ the Visionary, like we said earlier, man. It's a good guy, good director. He'll be on this show, you know, one of these episodes, and you know, we'll get into what he's talking about. But, you know, it's amazing how just making yourself available and being able to mold yourself in any situation and allow your brain to adapt and allow your natural ability to just want to succeed and create, adapt in those situations. That's what helped me get to where my name is around and people want to, you know, connect with me and need me for certain things. And I you know, I definitely appreciate all the people that, you know, around me that gave me the ability to do that. But it's something that you have to have the mind for. You know, I'm not sitting around like just thinking about dumb shit. I'm really elaborating on what's my next step. I'm not waiting for things to hit me in the face. Word. I'm going after it, and that's why all these things ended up transpiring. And now, you know, we are here where we are today.
Mindset, man. Mindset is everything.
So check it. We'll have a couple more questions and we'll wrap up.
Yeah.
So it all starts with a script. Maybe not. But when do you know, like, you being the filmmaker that you are and being a writer and an actor is how you originally started.
Yeah.
How do you know when, like, a script is done for you?
Just by the ending, man. Like, you know, I always write my films. I always have like a twist at the end of all my projects. You know what I mean? So that's how I know, you know, that
when you add the twist,
that I'm done. When I add the twist, it's over. Because I'm already thinking, like, when I put this on a big screen, people gonna be like, oh man, like, for real. You know what I mean? Just like a couple of my films, man. Undying Love. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you guys probably seen that project, man. And I always add twists to my projects, man. I always make it emotional and everything like that. And I always like to capture hearts and capture feelings with my projects. Yeah,
that's dope, man. Do you think the film business is fair? Why or why not?
Actually, fair. I mean, I just feel like if you're a true filmmaker, man, like, you'll find a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll find a way. Just build your own table and just continue to work consistently, man, and just make things happen, man. Like, write your stories and your films from the heart. You know what I'm saying? If you're a true filmmaker, and, you know, just put it out there, man. One day, you know, someone's gonna see it and life's gonna change. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going hard, keep pushing, keep networking. You know what I'm saying? And keep going out to events, man. Just keep meeting new people, man. And you just never know. You know what I'm saying? God will always work in your favor if you're passionate about what you do.
Yeah. So I know you have a Take It to the Max documentary out in film festivals right now, and you're an award-winning filmmaker for a couple films that you've placed in some local festivals and also out of state.
Yes, sir.
So for the people watching this, like, what role have film festivals played in your life so far, and like, why are they necessary? Like, how do you get the most out of them?
Now, they're necessary because you connect and you meet with a lot of different people from a lot of different places. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I love film festivals, because you get to network with people that there could be individuals in the audience that are very, very, very important in this film industry, and you don't even know.
Right.
You just think that's just, someone local that's just sitting in the crowd, but this person could be someone that shot Cocaine Cowboys back in the day, or shot Baby Boy, or you just never know. You know what I mean? And it's very, very, it definitely, and it's very, very important to put your film into these film festivals, because you just want to expose your projects to new eyes, and not just your IG followers or your Facebook followers. You want to expose it to people that don't even know who you are, so when they see your project, they're like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So that you're exposing yourself to so many people, and it's just bringing value to who you are as a filmmaker. You know what I mean? So yeah, film festivals is definitely like things that a thing that I love to do, and I love submitting films into film festivals, man.
So you'd highly recommend it?
Yeah, I highly recommend film festivals.
Yeah. How do people normally get involved? How can they like find film festivals, or what resources do you use to kind of search these film festivals up and also like submit your work? Where can they find that?
Well, on Eventbrite, man, you can search in the tab film festivals. There's always film festivals going on, local film festivals, and also filmfreeway.com. If you want to find all the film festivals worldwide, all over the world and everything like that, you sign up. It's free to sign up. You know what I'm saying? You submit your films to any and every location that's having a film festival. Prices range from free to $100. You know what I mean? So whatever you feel like you want to do, make it happen.
Cool, man. Well, I think this is probably about the end of our time together. Definitely appreciate you coming out, talking to the people.
Definitely appreciate you having me, brother.
Yeah, man, it's been love. I'm glad we got to do this. This is a new experience for me too. It's my first time podcasting, and I just wanted to create this platform, man, to just open people's eyes, give a avenue for us filmmakers and creatives to be able to speak our minds and just say whatever we want, man. What's real about what goes on in our lives, our careers. Like, I feel like a lot of people think we're just some magic trick. We make so many amazing things happen in the industry, and it's like, clients or certain people that you might work with and connect with, sometimes they don't understand the true value of what we do. So I'm glad we have this platform to be able to express true stories, things that have been a part of our personal journeys, I really hope to get you back on here sometime again, and follow up with you and all the great things that you're doing. And I'm really, really proud of you, and I hope the films that you're working with right now in the festivals, I hope they keep getting bigger. And it's been great having you. So
thank you.
Any last words?
Man, just to all the filmmakers out there, man, just if you want to make it in this game, and you're a first time filmmaker and you want to learn more about the industry, and just continue to watch this channel, and just continue to go hard, man, and continue to have that strong mindset. You have to have a strong-willed mindset to be able to survive in this game. You have to be strong. You have to be, in this game you can't be patient. You know what I'm saying? You have to go for what you want. You know what I mean? You have to consistently be out there making plays and networking with people, marketing your stuff, and just being that undeniable filmmaker that just wants to make things happen. So just go hard and don't stop, man. Failure's no option.
Where can the people find you, man?
You can find me on Instagram, Failure's No Option _ my business page, F&O Productions LLC, and that's the same for Facebook and Twitter and everything like that, man. So follow me.
It's all love, man. Thank you guys for tuning in.
One love.
We do it for the love of film.
Yes, sir.
Film's Most Wanted first podcast.
Yes, sir.
We out of here, baby.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
What? Yeah. Been around and I'll be around. Ain't see it then, but I see it now. In my head it's like Vietnam. Tell my demons they should keep it down.